Guys, hi, welcome.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to get to know you a little bit more today.
I want to point out that I'm wearing an orange shirt and orange socks.
Coordination on point.
I try.
So this is it. This is where the magic happens, you could say.
This is kind of like the room I love to come to because it's a little quieter. I have 2 little people, and so having a space where you can just be and play music. I have guitars in here, my piano, my Bibles, books, different things, and this is where I come to just chill out.
How did music kind of enter into your life?
My mom was a piano teacher, so from
Awesome.
As early as I can remember, I always grew up with we called it the piano room. It's always been a place where I've loved to just get away, kind of chill out, play music. I think the big realization for me when I was a teenager was I couldn't believe that my faith, this new passion to follow Christ, and also my love for music could be something that could work together. And so I remember being at a youth camp and a pastor came and prophesied over me and said, I feel like you have the heart of David and you're going to write worship songs that will teach people how to lift their eyes to God. And it was like something dropped. I realized, this is maybe something I'm called to do. The writing process is a lot to do with like stripping back and getting as simple as possible so you can see things clearly. As a writer, when you're constantly pouring out and trying to come up with new ways to portray things, there's nothing like listening and soaking up stories. I love co-writing with friends, especially people who are different. They just have different life experiences and different music preferences and styles that they lean towards. And I like the idea that 2 people come into a room and you don't know what you're gonna get.
Okay, let's talk about your husband. How did you guys meet?
We met in church. One day he came up to me and said, would you like to go out for coffee? And I said, you know what? I'll do it.
You'll do it.
We went to a restaurant. Celine Dion was playing in the background.
Oh my gosh.
We shared our life story with each other and the rest is history. We have 2 children. My son, Jax, is 5. And then my daughter, Jericho, is 4. And Jax is a sweetheart, sensitive boy. He wears glasses. He's so cool. And he loves superheroes. So it's a lot of superhero posters, little dinosaur. And my daughter, Jericho, is just a crazy person. And it's the best. She loves princesses and she has curly hair and she's crazy and they're completely opposite.
Should we go check out her room as well?
Sure. It's definitely going to be messy. It definitely is.
How does this room reflect Jericho's personality?
Exactly. Good point. It looks like some kind of whirlwind has gone on in here, but she's the best. I'm obsessed.
What does it look like for you to balance family life and being a songwriter? How do you navigate that?
I mean, it is a balance, but I once received a great piece of advice, and get ready for a big name drop, but
cool,
from a wonderful human being, Darlene Check. She said to me, Darlene Check, silence. When I was first pregnant with my son, she said, some of the greatest days of my life have been serving God with a baby on my hip. You just do it. You bring your kids along on the journey and you work it out. There's an ebb and flow. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong, and then you course correct and go again.
Excuse me, is it bedtime?
What does a Sunday look like for you?
Sunday usually looks like being with family and sometimes sitting in church, sometimes leading worship in church. I still love to lead worship after all these years. I love it. It's fun and it's great to be with people. I still have to remind myself, this is actually about hopefully stepping out and God using you to help people look to Him. The thing with calling is when you try to neglect it, it kind of feels like you're off track. You want to let it go when it's hard, but when it comes to something that you know in your heart you're called to, it's really hard to let it go. And so it's been a real joy to kind of wrestle with that and also discover the fun element of stewarding the call of God.